Hello everyone, my name is Balgabay Dinar Nurkenqızı. I work at school gymnasium named after Akjan Blakılbayev as an English teacher. Today our topic is about conditionals under the subtopic regrets and life lessons. The learning objectives of this lesson are use if and if only, insert conditional structures, use a variety of relative clauses including with which, whole previous clause reference on a wide range of familiar and the general and the curricular topics. So, before we start, let's define the use of conditionals. The first zero conditional is used to tell about facts, correct. The first conditional is used to talk about things that are likely to happen. The second conditional is all about unreal scenario. And the third conditional is used with regrets. So, let's talk more about this topic. Usually when we want to express regrets, we use the third conditional and if only forms. So the structure of them, let's read it aloud. If plus past perfect would have plus past participle of the verbs. If only structure is similar to this one. As you can see, if only plus past perfect. So yes, they are very similar. Let's imagine. It's 1983. Will went home after playing D&D with Lucas, Justin, and Mike. On the way back home, he witnessed a black silhouette and fell from his bike. He rushed home, but Mom nor his brother weren't home, so there was nobody to help Will. Demogorgon kidnapped him. So, this story is taken from Netflix series called Stranger Things. Let's read the example that we created with the use of third conditional. So, if Joyce or Jonathan had been home, Will wouldn't have been alone when the creature came. So, right here, we are expressing regrets about the past events. Now, let's check the structure. As you can see, it perfectly aligns with the structure of third conditional. If what Joyce and Jonathan had been home could have in the negative form plus participle of the verbs. All right. Also, you have to note that you use a comma only with the if clause, only when the if clause comes first. So as you can see, if clause is coming first. That's why we put the comma. Great. So now it's your turn. Look at the pictures and create third conditional sentences. Let's check. If he hadn't turned off the alarm, he wouldn't have missed the bus. If you get it right, good job. Let's check. If he had saved the file, he wouldn't have lost it. We are expressing regrets. The last one. Let's check the answer. If he hadn't texted while walking, we wouldn't have broken your phone. If you got them all right, you are doing great. So these examples we will see in the future examples. So let's move on. So now let's express regret with the use of if only. Right here, you can see that I changed my previous sentence into the new sentence with the use of if only. If only Joyce or Johnson had been home. As you can see, we put the sign here to emphasize the feelings of regret. So now let's change your examples into new sentences with the use of if only structure. Follow the structure. Now let's check. If only he hadn't turned off the alarm. Great. Next one. Let's see the correct answer. If only he had saved the file. If you got this one right too, well done. correct answer is, if only he hadn't texted while walking. Great job. So we have concluded the first objective where we had to where we had to express regrets. So I hope that everything was clear. Now let's move on to our next objective. This is about relative clauses. So what are these? Relative clauses add extra information about things, people, places, and so on. When we want to add extra information about a person, we use who. With places, we use where. With a thing or situation, we use which. And with time, we use when. Let's dig more into this topic. So, look at these examples. Will is a boy. This is just a simple sentence without giving that extra information about the boy Will. So this is a boring sentence. To make it more interesting and add extra spices and extra information, we use related clauses. For example, Will is a boy who was kidnapped. You have to also notice that we didn't use the comma. We will talk about it more later. Next sentence. Demogorgon is a nasty creature. Just a simple sentence. Now let's make it more interesting. Demogorgon, which is from upside down, is a nasty creature. As you can see here, we put the commas. And the last sentence, Joyce or Jonathan were at home, which let Demogorgon kidnap Will. Also, you can see that we used comma here. So let's check. Here we used who to talk about, to add extra information about this boy. Here we used which to add extra information about the thing, which is Demogorgon. And right here, we used which to reference the previous clause. Now, let's talk about it more. You have to note, the first, if the information given is essential, we don't use comma. It means the clause is defining. So if the information is important, we don't use the comma. You have to note that. The second, if it is not essential, we use comma. It means the clause is non-defining. If the information given is not essential, we use comma. Got it. If which refers to the whole previous clause, we use comma. So in the previous page, we had this example where which referred to the whole previous clause. So that's why we put the comma there. So right now, we are going to do the sentence reconstruction tasks. So here we have two examples of the sentence, and we have to connect them with the relative clauses. So this is the first example of mine. He didn't check the weather, which made him get wet. We put the which here because it refers to the whole previous clause. Like, this was caused by this. That's why we are referencing this which. Right, now it's your turn. The girl, his classmate, has red hair. Let's check the possible answer. The girl who has red hair is my classmate. Notice that we didn't put any comma because this information is essential. Because it cannot be any girl. We have to emphasize which girl was it. The girl had red hair. Next. He overslept. This caused him to miss the bus. Let's check the possible answer. He overslept, which caused him to miss the bus. So we put the which with the comma because it refers to the previous clause. So this was the cause of this one. Great. Next. Let's check. My bike, which I got for my birthday, is very old. So the bike which I got for my birthday. So we put the comma because this information is just extra and not essential. So that's why we put the commas. Great. Next one. The teacher teaches English is very kind. Let's see. The teacher who teaches English is very kind. So as you can see, we didn't put any commas because this information is important. It can't be any teacher. We have to tell you to add. We have to add extra information about this teacher because we can't find this teacher without this extra information. That's why we didn't put any comma here. If you got everything right, you are doing well. Yes, great job, guys. So now let's check what you have learned today. You can follow this link and open this quiz. Here you have to answer the questions. So let's do it together. Choose the correct third conditional sentence. If he studied, he would pass. If he had studied, he would have passed. If he studies, he will pass. So obviously the second option is correct. Choose the correct if only sentence. If only she listens. If only she had listened. If only she will listen. We know that if only follows, if only is used with past participle. So the answer is this one. Which sentence uses a defining relative clause? My bike, which is old, is broken. The student who won the prize is absent today. He overslept, which made him late. The correct answer is B. Which sentence correctly uses which to refer to the whole previous clause? So I will not read out loud. Okay, so here we use the which, right? Choose the correct non-defining relative clause. So just an not important extra information. Yeah, you have to notice that you have to put the commas correctly. So this one. Choose a grammatically correct third conditional sentence. If we had left earlier, we wouldn't be late. If we if we had left earlier, we wouldn't have been late. So this one. And the last question, which sentence is punctuated correctly? She forgot her homework, which upset the teacher. Which upset the teacher? Okay, so see that you don't have a period here. So the correct answer will be this one. Right? So we answered all the questions correctly. I want to thank you for your participation. Goodbye.